Today, we're going to talk about something that feels familiar, but is almost always imagined the wrong way. The true scale of our solar system. Most of us have seen diagrams showing the sun in the center with all the planets lined up neatly around it, close together, almost like beads on a string. It looks organized and compact. But that picture is deeply misleading, not because scientists are lying, but because the real scale of the solar system is far too vast to fit on a page or a screen. The sun alone contains about 99.8% of all the mass in the entire solar system. Everything else combined, every planet, moon, asteroid, and comet, is just a tiny leftover. If the sun were the size of a large door, Earth would be no bigger than a grain of pepper. Not a marble, not a ball, but a tiny speck. And even that tiny pepper-sized Earth would not be close to the sun. To represent the real distance, it would need to be placed about 15 meters away. Now think about the moon. In most images, the moon looks like it's almost touching Earth. In reality, the space between Earth and the moon is enormous. You could fit all the planets of the solar system in that gap with room to spare. That distance is not filled with objects or debris. It's almost entirely empty. This emptiness is one of the most shocking truths about space. Space is not crowded. It's not busy. It's mostly nothing. Between Mercury and Venus, there are tens of millions of kilometers of empty space. Between Earth and Mars, even more. If you were traveling through the solar system, most of your journey would be spent moving through darkness, with no planets in sight, just silence and blackness stretching in every direction. Even the asteroid belt, often shown in movies as a deadly field of tightly packed rocks, is mostly empty. In reality, asteroids are separated by hundreds of thousands of kilometers. A spacecraft could pass through the asteroid belt and never come close to hitting anything. The danger we imagine simply isn't there. What dominates is distance, not debris. The gas giants make the scale feel even more unreal. Jupiter is enormous, more massive than all the other planets combined, yet the distance from the Sun to Jupiter is so vast that the inner solar system feels like a tiny, distant cluster left far behind. Beyond Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune are spaced even farther apart. Sunlight grows weaker, the cold becomes extreme, and the solar system begins to feel less like a system and more like scattered islands in an endless void. Then there is Pluto, small and distant, barely held by the sun's gravity. From Pluto, the sun no longer dominates the sky. It appears as a bright star rather than a blazing disk. A sunrise there would look faint and cold. And beyond Pluto lies even more emptiness, the Kuiper belt, the Oort cloud, region so vast